Hello world, hello YouTube, hello everybody. This is Prepper Princess, and this is a video response to Presto, who straight called me out on what I would do in an EMP/SHTF. So Presto, here you go. So if there's an EMP by whatever various attacks, the first thing I would do on day one, the moment I found out it happened, I would immediately fill my bathtub with water. The second thing I would do is I would cover all of the windows in black garbage garbage bags. Wouldn't want them seeing any of the light that I have going outward into the street where they can see that I have supplies. Number three would be I would attempt to make contact. I do have a tiny Faraday cage which has some radios on it. And if that were the case on day one, if I were able to find anybody on the local channels, that means that they had a Faraday cage and they were preppers too. So I would try to make contact with those people first. Even the police station, I don't think that they have Faraday cages, so they would not be on the line. It would just be people who were ready and expecting for the event to happen. I would immediately move my chickens into the garage for their own safety. All of my neighbors know that I have chickens, and more than likely, if they're panicked, they're going to attempt to steal them, probably to eat them, not even for eggs, but that would be something that would happen. You had mentioned it happened right around Christmas in December. There is an orange tree right over there. Between me and my neighbor, I would immediately pick all of the oranges. I also have a winter garden, and in the winter garden there are carrots, turnips, and a lot of leaf lettuces. I would immediately go out there, pick them all, and start not just implementing those into my diet, but making them my primary source of vitamins and minerals. I would take stock and ration all of the food. All of the food would immediately be under lockdown. This thing has a lock on it. It would be locked down. I would begin carrying my fully loaded .357 Magnum on my hip everywhere I go. That's assuming that, there is no law enforcement, and more than likely I wouldn't be going anywhere anyway, so it would be on my hip inside of my house. I would also start making contact with my neighbors, playing dumb. What's going on? I don't know what to do. Steve, can you look at my car? It won't work. Just talking to my neighbors, doing that sort of thing. Another thing about EMPs is that a lot of people think that 100% of cars will not work, and that's not necessarily the case. Mine's an older vehicle. It does not have an electronic ignition, so more than likely my car would work, but I wouldn't have the electronics like the radio, headlights, dome lights, stuff like that, but more than likely it would work. I would go and get my grandmother. My grandma lives 12 miles away. If my car doesn't start, I'll hoof it. I'll have to go with a wheelchair because she's 91 years old, and she would immediately be coming home with me. I would have my girlfriend take stock of all of her medications, and those would immediately go into rationing into half servings or half supply. Her father has a 2-year supply. He is an ex-Marine and Army officer. My first thought is that he would be on his way here with all of the medication. He's just that type of guy. That's what I can see him doing. So in terms of medication, we'd just be sitting back waiting. I would also, day one, be preparing my home, small things like to make me feel more like I'm living the normal, daily life. I would get all of my oil lamps ready. I already have hooks hanging on my ceiling. Start getting all my oil lamps hooked up. I would start, I have the camp stove in the garage. The camp stove would come in and go on my normal stove just to make it seem like when I'm cooking, in the kitchen, just like normal life. And I would definitely, with my neighbors, pretend, being just as bad off as them. Week one, I would make contact with my quote-unquote redneck neighbors. I made a previous video. I got a lot of comments about the redneck ones, and I have made some progress with them. And I think that they would be a valuable tool in an SHTF. In week one, I wouldn't, of course, tell nobody what I have, but I would be pretending that I was hurting just as much as them, and I would probably go to them with maybe half a dozen eggs and say, hey, you know, it's just week 1 and I have enough water for 2 months, but I would still go up to them and say, hey, can I trade you some eggs for water? And they would most likely be more than willing to do that. And that would just leave the door open for, you know, if they need more eggs, they can come to me, and if I need more water, I can go to them. Month 1, I would attempt to make contact with my brother. My brother lives 30 miles away. He's very executive. I don't think that he's prepared, but I would assume that he would make his way to me, because it's not a secret between him and I how much I prep. And he has a son to take care of, so I would imagine they would show their way, make their way over here. So in month 1, what I would start doing is discussing with my neighbors. Like I've said in my other videos, I'm completely surrounded by swimming pools. I do have filters in place, and more than likely those people who have swimming pools are out of fresh water too. So what I would offer is, okay, if you give me 5 gallons of water, I'll filter my 5 gallons, and I'll filter 5 gallons for you, so you have fresh, clean drinking water, and so do I. So you supply it, I'll filter it. You fly, I'll buy, that type of thing. I would be waiting for my girlfriend's father. And then, when would it be time to bug out? That's a tough one. Bugging out for me is when I have to kill more than one person in order for my own safety or survival. So, shame on you once, shame on you, twice shame on me. So once is your one chance. If there's complete mayhem going on in the streets and I had to kill in order to survive, that's a one-off. If it happens twice, that's not a coincidence. It's time to get out. I do have a bug out location. More than likely I have more than one bug out location, but the secondary one comes with pretty big moral complications, I guess you could say. So that's what I would do for that, and just be completely prepared for life without electricity. A lot of people, you know, they don't know how to cook, they don't know how to hunt, they don't know how to do that sort of thing, and it's something that a lot of us need to take into consideration, start thinking ahead. Also, I would have to say on week 1 and starting from, I don't want to say day 1, but after a couple of weeks, I would immediately start fishing. One of the things that is really important in my prepping is my fitness, and I have ridden my bicycle 113 miles in one day. The ocean is 40 miles away from me, approximately, and we have supplied lakes and rivers within, one is within 10 miles and another is within 25. So I would be going to those lakes, you know, just with grub worms, trying to catch whatever I can. If I had to make the journey to the ocean 40 miles away, I would definitely do that, carrying a couple of buckets, and I would go crab fishing because I do have all the gear for that. One of the things I do want to do is get a trailer for my bicycle. Those are rather expensive right now, and I'm trying to find one for free. Even if it's just one of those little things that usually carry kids, I wouldn't mind, as long as I can do my crab fishing and come home with the bacon. But so I think that that's all that you asked about. Day 1, week 1, month 1, and when is it time to bug out. So I think I went over all of those. And it's, you know, those are just the overall encompasses of what would happen. Of course, there would be smaller things, you know, daily washing and hygiene, and keeping things clean, making sure that my girlfriend didn't strain herself. She has cystic fibrosis, and once she runs out of medication, she wouldn't have more than a month to live. So another thing that you should know is that I don't mention all of the things because of all of the negative comments that I might get. For instance, if I found that she was very low on medication, one of the things I would do would be to rob a pharmacy. It's not something that I'm proud of, but in order to keep my family alive, I'll do it. So if you have any more questions or you want to call me out on anything that I would do, just go ahead and let me know. But you know, if somebody calls me out, I'm pretty much going to step up and show them what I've got. So I guess that's it. Talk to you later, Presto. Peace out.